show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Summer of his 27th year, coming home to a place he'd never been before. He left yesterday inside him. You might say he was born again. You might say he fell here for every door. When he first came through the mountains, his life was far away. On the road and hanging by the sun. But the string's already broken and he doesn't really care. He keeps changing fast and they don't last for long. And the Colorado Rocky Mountain High, I've seen it raining fire in the sky. The shadows from the satellites are often on by. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. He climbed cathedral mountains and saw silver clouds below. He saw everything as far as you can see. And they said he got crazy once that he tried to touch the sun. And he must have prayed for him that week. And we watched him find solitude in the forest and the street, singing grace in every step he takes. His side is till inside itself to try and understand the serenity of a blue mountain. In the Colorado Rocky Mountain High, I've seen it rain fire in the sky. You can talk to God and listen to the casual reply. Rocky Mountain High,
Well, howdy there, folks. I hope you're doing great wherever you are in the world today, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Artist's Heart Live with me, your lovable host, John Morris. It is a phenomenally beautiful day here today, and I hope you enjoyed that beautifully well-sung presentation of Rocky Mountain High, all the way back from 2017, I believe it was. Don't I look so young? Actually, I haven't changed all that much. All I have now on is the glasses. You can see them a little bit more. But it is a phenomenally beautiful day here in Scotland. Today is actually my first day back online after a very, very thrilling and adventurous weekend. This past Saturday, Katie and I were at a cousin of hers who was getting married, and it was a big family get-together up in Glasgow. And it was tremendous fun, and I learned some really amazing lessons. I got to meet some absolutely incredible people and have some phenomenal conversations. And I want to tell you about the lessons a little bit later on in the show, because it's called The Power of Seeing Things from the End. And I'm going to be talking about this in an upcoming episode of The Battles We'll Face, because it's one of the greatest lessons I have ever learned, and I want to share with you. But before we get there, I've also got to tell you about today. Katie's grand took us out for lunch. We've got basically looking after granny duty this weekend. And Katie's grand took us out for lunch as a thank you for taking her to a hospital appointment. She's 94 years old, still lives by herself. She gets by on one stick and her little Gigi, which she pushes along and trundles along, but she's doing phenomenal. So we had a really, really amazing day today. And then I came back and I'm here. I'm making sure that I'm filming for you because I want to make sure that this Friday is your favorite show, and we don't want you to miss out more than anything else, because I know how much so many people look forward to it. With that in mind as well, here's a crazy thing for you. It's a beautiful, glorious day. And during this time, usually in summer, I can be on and off, and I try to make sure as much as possible that people know what I'm doing, what I'm up to, or that somebody's always there taking and receiving messages. But with it being summer, sometimes you're on holiday and you're doing your things and whatever else. And I don't like spending forever on social media as well. So I switched on my phone about an hour and a half ago when we started filming, and I must have received maybe about 25 messages, and at least 15 of them said, "John, are you all right? Is everything okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" It's like, well, normally you reply really, really quickly, but today you're not. You know, we haven't heard from you. Is everything all right? Are you alive? Is Katie all right? And I'm like, yes, we're just taking time off, and this is what's been going on, and blah, 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 blah. Which I knew is what would happen, but it is the sweetest, nicest thing, and it is great when you feel appreciated, and people show their levels of appreciation as well. It's tremendous fun. So with that in mind, folks, let's get on with the show, shall we? We have got a stellar packed show for you today. We've got the lighter side of the news for you, and boy, we've got some great, fun, hilarious topics of which we're going to cover in this one. And this week's it's provided by Sky News. I'll also be presenting to you another very, very awesome, I gotta say, this is one of my favorite artistic presentations that I get to do for you each and every week. And finally, in our Art Historian of the Week, we've got a really awesome artist of which we're going to be covering, and all that and so much more. But before we get anywhere, as promised, I want to tell you about one of the lessons that I learned with regards to the wedding. Now, big events sometimes can be really, really scary, and I'm not alone. I actually got to meet 3 or 4 people this past weekend that almost didn't attend the wedding because literally they were so anxious. It was terrifying for them, even to be there. So we got chatting and everything else, and I told them the story of my experience with the lead up to the wedding. Now, most of the time these days, I'm very, very mellow, very, very chilled out. But occasionally, if things are really busy or there's a lot of stuff going on, I can still be a little bit up and down. So anyway, I'm going through this horrible situation, and I managed to make myself sick, like bedbound sick, a couple of weeks ago, if you remember me telling you. And what ended up happening was I just got myself worked up to such a point that, you know, it wasn't good. I completely freaked out and ended up making myself really ill. So I was laid in the bath, I don't know, maybe a week later, and I'm just laying there, and all of a sudden the spiritual, deeper stuff starts coming in. And this was the lesson. Not only do we attract what we believe, But if we see things from the end, i.e. after the event has happened, after the big party celebration has happened, after the wedding has happened, we can actually choose how we feel about it. So rather than sitting there and saying, well, it was a complete waste of time, I was surrounded by people I didn't want to be surrounded by, I was listening to conversations I didn't want to be listening by, getting myself worked up, changing my genetic DNA structure from peace to anger, which is what happens in case you wondered, I actually decided, you know what? I'm going to wake up on the Sunday. The wedding was on the Saturday. I'm going to wake up on the Sunday. I'm going to have had an amazing day. We will have had amazing food. We would have had fantastic, enlightening conversations and gotten to meet some really awesome people. Saturday came. The weather was amazing. The bride showed up like 45 minutes late, but hey, I didn't ask for that, so I you know, only myself to blame. But the weather was beautiful. The atmosphere was amazing. We got sitting down at dinner. The food was gorgeous. 3 people sitting at either side of me. So we had 3 people this way, and then we had Katie and then my sister-in-law to the other side. And we had phenomenal conversation. Like, these were the kind of people that were almost placed divinely. Because the amazing thing was, they had felt how I had felt. And I was able to tell them, look, this is what I went through. This is what I did. And even if I was able to help in a fraction of a fraction, it was incredible. And I got to thank them afterwards, and I got to say, you know, thank you for making my day that little bit brighter. So here's the lesson: when you see everything, no matter what it is in life, if you see everything from the end, after the event has taken place, you choose how you respond to it. We can't necessarily control everything that goes on. And a prime example of that was the day was going great until a big rock band came in and started strumming away. They actually ended up being really, really good and really cool, but the whole mood of the day kind of changed. But that was the amazing thing. And I learnt this, going through this trial and error and struggling and everything else. I learnt when you see things from the end, see it from success. Don't see it from being anxious and worried and predicting the worst. How about seeing it from, you know, you're going to have a phenomenal day. People there are going to be fantastic. And you say, well, they haven't been in the past. I say, well, this isn't the past. This is the present and the future. Maybe you'll actually manifest and attract into your life these amazing people. And I firmly believe that's what happened on Saturday. And it was a thoroughly amazing experience, of which it left me on such a high that I couldn't wait to share it with you. It's one of the greatest lessons I've ever been able to experience, and one of the greatest lessons that I'm ever able to pass on to you. And I hope that helps you today. So whatever it is that you're going through, if it's your working day, and it's a Monday, rather than getting the Monday blues and all that kind of nonsense, how about you sit there on a Sunday night and imagine waking up on Tuesday morning and saying, man, that was a fantastic day. I made more sales than I ever thought possible. I had some phenomenal conversations with my workmates. I spoke to someone on a level that I've never ever been able to before. I managed to finally break through to one of my co-workers, or I had, you know, amazing success, or whatever it might be. If it's a wedding, you know, it was great. We had great food, great conversation. Even if it doesn't happen, I'd rather be optimistic and keep your level of peace rather than being pessimistic and miserable, because people don't like it. And guess what? If you're pessimistic and miserable, the chances are the people around you will be pessimistic and miserable as well. So I hope that helps you wherever you are today. Now, with that in mind and that out of the way, let's turn to the lighter side of the news for you. And boy, we have got some awesome stories to share with you this week. First of all, we are heading all the way over to the east of the world as we head to China. No, we head to Japan. I was close. We head to Japan. Now, as many of you know around the world, and many of you have been telling me, the heat has been really, really rough on your pets. But a new invention all the way from Japan is helping hot dogs keep cool. There is a lot of puns in this one, folks. This is by Sky News this week, so this is it's going to be interesting. So amuse yourself at least. So the headline is this: the heat's rough on pets, but a new wearable fan in Japan is helping hot dogs keep cool. The entire pausable invention retails at £60 and will be perfect for keeping pet dogs cool in intense sun when it is not raining cats and dogs. However, such is its standout style that they may find themselves hounded by the paparazzi. As you can see here, Moko, a Pomeranian poodle mix who is absolutely gorgeous and looks really, really happy, is one of the new models trying out these cooling outfits. And as you can see here, it's really, really simple. It's basically a very lightweight vest. I believe it comes in a number of different colors, but at the moment we're just seeing it in white that has a fan attached to it. Now, I don't know if there's a switch on the back to turn it on and off, but I like this. I think this is a really fantastic idea. I think you need to make it actually for humans, because as we saw a couple of weeks ago with the Charing Cross situation, you know, this is really, really cutting-edge technology for sure. And I've seen this being one of the absolute next crazes and fads. It may be something we need to invest in. As you can see, you've got to be kidding me. The cat is called Son for real. A 5-year-old lives in Tokyo and has the fan strapped on its back, although does not look as amused as Moko. Yes. Many people usually keep dry ice packs to keep their pets cool, but I think it's far easier to walk your cat or dog if you have these beautiful things. And you can see so many photos here. I mean, this is just fantastic. I think this is going to be the next big craze, especially during the summer. Good on them. Well done, guys. Fantastic, fantastic. That is really exciting to be able to report. And continuing the furry fun, here we go all the way to Boston in the United States. Oh, here we go. A cat named Rowdy has been finally caught after spending 3 weeks on the run inside a U.S. airport. The cat, as you can see here, looks a lot like our little kitty in Cooper, only a little bit thinner, less fluffy, and a little bit older as well. But Rowdy has been caught. He actually got out of his cage. He managed to break free in the pursuit of some birds. And whether it was out of fatigue or hunger, we shall never know. But this morning, she finally let herself be caught, apparently said the airport spokesperson. He apparently is all good, all well and healthy, and he had been dodging staff. Airport staff, airline employees, and animal experts. That's why I always get concerned when people call themselves experts if you can't catch a cat, you know, seriously. Anyway, but in Boston's Logan International Airport, since escaping his cage in pursuit of some birds, the story gets even more amusing when their pet owner sends his favorite treats and also records video of video messages for the cat in an attempt to persuade the cat to come out. Now we hope she will take the bait, and she did. She eventually allowed herself to be caught. Good on her. Our cat Cooper probably wouldn't. And talking of our cat Cooper, actually, I want to share a funny story with you. When I got Cooper, okay, when my sister-in-law was going through some changes in her own life, and I took Cooper in. And he had been an outdoor cat for a long, long time. And we decided, let's keep him indoors because I lived on a really, really busy main road. I was still adjusting to life. A whole host of crazy stuff had gone on. But we decided to keep him indoors. And it worked successfully until he tried to get under the bath and out into the corridor. Which he didn't do. Had to seal up the side of the bath. It was a rented property. And then when we were moving out of the apartment, we left the window open just slightly and turned around just in time to see our dear little four-legged pussycat trying to make a bid for freedom outside of the window. So we had to grab onto his tail and to his back legs in order to get him back in. And then when we lived in Portland Street, he once attempted again. Only this time he'd been so accustomed to living indoors, he sat outside at the back door looking through the glass patio doors, looking almost bemused, like, what are you doing out in there and I'm in here? Or what are you doing in there and I'm out here? Anyway, he was fine and he was brought back in and everything, and it was all good. But yeah, some crazy stories. So I'm delighted to hear that Rowdy is safe and sound and she is back where she belongs. And from there we move to the United Kingdom as a £30,000 Wrigley's chewing gum heist takes centre stage in this week's, I suppose, hilarious award of the week. Yes. Teenager avoids getting stuck in jail over a £30,000 Wrigley's chewing gum heist. Keon Sanderson, 18, together with Ellis Bennick, 20, were part of the trio who raided a lorry as the driver slept while parked at a Gloucester services on the M5. Now, folks, these guys have either got to be looking to sell Wrigley's chewing gum on the open market, have such a love and a passion of Wrigley's chewing gum that this is the only way that they could get it, or have the worst breath in the entire world and desperately need it. But what it actually turns out to be was a teenager who helped steal £30,000 of Wrigley's chewing gum to pay off his debt had been avoided being sent to jail. Now, this is, again, a prime example. The reason we included this is because, yes, it's funny and humorous, but it also serves a point. People nowadays are willing to do just about anything that they need to in order to make some money. And obviously, Keon Sanderson, maybe, massively in debt. We don't know. But the reality is, he was doing this out of a desperate need to pay off some money. Apparently, the gang took out 19 pallets of chewing gum after cutting open the side of a vehicle during a sophisticated operation on the 4th of May. They fled the scene after another driver spotted them and called the police, sparking chase across the motorway toward Cheltenham. The driver ended up driving up the wrong way up the A40 before dumping their lorry near a BMW dealership and running away. It does go on to say that Keon was convicted of, let's have a look, he was convicted of theft, possession of cannabis, and failing to provide a breath test sample of blood or urine for analysis. And the ultimate result was that he ended up, I think, in 10 months in jail. And he basically received an 18-month suspended sentence. Yeah, not the most ideal, but I mean, that is, like I said, that is commitment to Wrigley's for sure, to steal £30,000 of it. And finally, this week, a story that caught my interest in a really fantastic way from an artistic, historic point of view was Vincent Van Gogh is still creating artwork despite being dead for many, many years. Yes, after an X-ray was discovered on the back of, after an X-ray discovered an previously unknown Vincent Van Gogh painting, artists and historians around the world have jumped with delight over this. A previously known self-portrait of Vincent van Gogh complete with pre-severed ear has been discovered, say experts, and there's a video that goes along with this. Let's check it out now, shall we?
Head of a Peasant Woman by Van Gogh. And on the reverse, hidden by a sheet of cardboard, we have a previously unknown artist's self-portrait. When we saw the X-ray for the first time, of course, we were hugely excited. Such a major discovery happens once, twice in a conservator's lifetime.
I first heard about this amazing new discovery when I was queuing outside the fish shop. I received a text from my colleague Leslie Stevenson. She said, guess what I've discovered. We have 3 works by Van Gogh in the collection. And then suddenly we have potentially another, which is probably the most exciting one of all. It's really significant to discover a portrait that no one knew existed up to this moment. And it's incredibly exciting for the National Galleries. We've got this wonderful new addition to our collection.
Knowing that it's there in a collection that belongs to the people of Scotland is incredibly important. To have an image as elusive as it presently is something very, very special.
How amazing is that, my friends? It truly, truly is. And as an art lover, obviously, I've spent most of my adult life in the world of art and the world of history. That is phenomenal. And I'm thoroughly, thoroughly delighted to hear that news. And that is it, folks, this week of The Lighter Side of the News. I hope you enjoyed that. What story impacted you the most? Have you ever had a pet escape on you? Have you ever stole £30,000 worth of anything? Have you ever seen anything that is as exciting as a fan-strapped dog or cat? Comment in the section below, folks. Do feel free to tell us. And with that in mind, we are now going to head on over to the studio as I present to you a really cool special painting of a little lady. Sit back and enjoy.
Everything's coming up so good. It's gonna be alright. Things are working like they should. Well, it's a brighter day and a brighter way for me. It's gonna be alright. I'm gonna be fine. But sometimes we gotta get on down and play the hand we've been dealt. With a little help along the way, you know when it's heartfelt. Well, I never knew just what I was till I had no other choice. And oh, we're running around with the boys, no, not by choice. It's just me and him and him and me. Together we'll get through. You just never know what the Almighty can do. Well, I'll never make excuses for what I've done. That's all down to me. I've settled in my home with the wife and the cat. A change of pace of life for me. Well, I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss those good old days. But I've never.
Henri Matisse. This sure brightens up this gray, rainy day.
Yeah. Lots and lots of colors. And look.
Ha! I love it. A cool design with just colors.
Oops.
That was funny. You look like a wild animal.
And da-da, wow! You make a cool painting.
Well, it was cool. This is not a gray day at all.
Whoa, that is cool, Maddie.
Well, it's not exactly what I was going for, but it kind of looks like something I saw in one of my books.
I'll get you a cloth to wipe your face. Whoa! Oops. Huh? Here you go, Maddie.
Hey, this is who I was looking for on my bookshelf. Henri Matisse, the master of color. Thanks, Dada.
And who have we here?
Monsieur Matisse, what a surprise.
Maddie,
Huh?
you still have paint on your face?
I forgot. I was so excited.
C'est très bon. Being excited and forgetting what others think is the only way to create art.
Dada crazy! Hey, Maddie, look at this!
A lot of people laughed at my painting, Woman with a Hat, at its first public showing. They didn't like it at all. They called me Fauve, which is French for wild beast.
Fauve! Oh, that was like me. I turned Maddie and her painting into wild colors.
I love her hat. It's just a bunch of colors that go up, up, and up.
Well, gigantic, outrageous hats were all the fashion back then. And so, that's what I painted. A gigantic, outrageous hat.
And look, Maddie, her face is pink and green, and she has a yellow dab on the tip of her nose, just like you did.
Yeah, it matches the big purple dot under her chin and the green beside her face.
Dada, yeah. With all those colors around her, it makes her colorful face look normal.
Yeah, this whole painting is so colorful. It's energetic and...
It's impulsive, oui. Colors are what matter to me. How they generate feelings and moods. How they interact with one another.
Yes!
Dada, yeah.
And different combinations of colors and patterns and shapes can generate very different feelings.
Ooh, this rug has a calming feeling. Da-da-da-dee. Ya-da-da.
This painting kind of makes me feel relaxed. It makes my eyes glide all around it, like Dada on that rug.
Ooh, yeah.
I saw this room as one big decorative pattern.
Huh? Hey, Maddie, the painting got unflat.
I can see it's a room, but it's flat. Monsieur Matisse, how did you make that room look like a flat, smooth surface?
I painted everything with equal balance. One thing doesn't stand out more than another. I gave each thing its own space and shape on the paper. The tablecloth had that shape, with the pears and the eggplants, vase and statue on top of it. I saw the screen, mirror, window and door as simple rectangle shapes. And the view through the window and mirror are just shapes of color I saw. And of course, the walls and floor look like the same thing, just a big flat pattern surface.
A pattern of a room.
Well, I actually called it Still Life with Eggplants.
Huh? But it's not very still because the eggplants look like they're sliding off the table.
Yeah, and in the mirror, they're back on the table, but in a different place.
It's fun to play around with the space, colors and shapes of things.
Yeah, and make a whole new picture with them.
Like that one. Dada, whoa! This one is made only with colors, cut out into shapes.
Monsieur Matisse, you've covered your walls with colorful shapes.
Yes, my excitement carries me away. I forget about everything else.
You were carried away, all right.
Oui, oui, indeed. Well, I cannot do everything I love as easily as I used to. And so, I've created a garden here in my studio where I can walk.
You've made a color garden from cutout shapes.
Yes. I call my new style of art paper cutouts. I draw with scissors and play with colors. I can make them big or very small. And then arrange and rearrange them until it pleases me. Ah. Yes, perfect. There.
Cool. Cutting into color.
Fun, fun, fun. This one looks like a party.
Yes, I call it Sorrows of the King.
Huh? Sorrows of the King? But that sounds sad.
Yeah, but it doesn't look sad. I see music and laughing and dancing. Yeah, I'm confused.
Well, the king is very old, but he plays music and he surrounds himself with the memories of laughter and dance, and they soothe all his ills.
Yeah, how can the old king be sad with all those colors around him?
I want to do paper cutouts too. Thank you so much, Monsieur Matisse. I'm all excited.
That's good. And remember to forget everything else.
Look, Dada, Ta-da! I've got the perfect shape to add.
Where do you want it, Maddie? Here? Or over here?
I feel it would be nice up in that corner.
Like this?
Maybe down a bit. And move that triangle just above it. Yeah.
Terrific! I like that!
Well, folks, I hope you really, really enjoyed this episode of the Artist Heart Live. If you have, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, because it could be the very thing they need to hear in their time of struggle. And plus, it's the only way our little YouTube channel's algorithm really grows and tells YouTube that, hey, we really like this show. We want to see more of it. Talking of that, folks, in the coming weeks, we are going to take a little bit of a deviation because I'm putting together something really, really special for this fall or autumn, depending where you are in the world, as the Artist Heart once again takes to the road, and we are going to be providing our Italy special. It's actually the north of Italy. It is called Lake Garda. And it is going to be phenomenal. So I'm presently behind the scenes. I'm working on a lot of things right now. But in the fall, in the run-up to Christmas, it is going to be there. And of course, Christmas, you're going to have your Christmas special, which hopefully is going to be a variety show as well, like we did last year. And if you haven't seen the variety show from last year, check it out because it is absolutely phenomenal. But folks, it has been a pleasure to be here with you once more. Don't forget to come back and check us out at the same time, same place next week for more exciting Artist Heart Live fun. Please share. Let your friends know that this is what we're doing, and this is a kick-ass show, and it is worth your time watching. It is a great source of energy and excitement and encouragement. It's a tremendous amount of fun as well. And if you're interested in ordering your own special custom painting, ordering my best-selling book, The Battles We All Face, ordering yourself in mentoring, guiding, or spiritual and mental health coaching. If you are interested in ordering any of our products, prints, paintings, custom artwork, you name it, art supplies, art teaching, list goes on and on and on. I want you to click the link below because we have got a really awesome brand new website that is being created as we speak. In fact, by the time the end of this month comes out, the show will be on the website every single week, but also the website should be complete. And it is going to be the central hub for all things John Morris. It is going to be there for your mentoring, for your spiritual and mental health, for your artistic needs, and that means art teaching, that means materials, that means downloads, that means prints, that means giveaways, all manner of awesome things. It is also going to be there for an awesome shop as well, and also to get the latest news about my upcoming books, and also you get to read Katie's awesome blog that comes out each and every single week, and that is self-help like you will find nowhere else. It's absolutely amazing. So go and check that out, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, I absolutely love you guys. I appreciate your support each and every single week, and make sure to keep clicking that like button. Smash that like button right now. And go and tell your friends. Until next time, take care, God bless. I will see you same place, same time next week for more of the Artist Heart Live. Namaste. God bless, my friend.